Hello, welcome to this. It's a let's read. I'm not doing one of these for a little while. The last one was a bit over the top, so I'm going to be a bit more simple on this one. This is the first magazine I'm going to be looking at, and it is the first ever issue of Edge magazine, which is, I started collecting Edge magazine a little while ago. I've got quite a few of the first few issues, so if you like this, I'll do a few more. But yeah, this is from October 1993. It costs £3, as you can see up here, and it focuses on quite a few different magazines. If you've never read Edge, it's a multi-format magazine. Of course, it came out in October 93, with this being the first issue, and it looks at Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, PC, Amiga, PC Engine, Neo Geo, 3DO, so basically everything basically. So here we go, this is issue 1, and basically just my quick look through, so you can have a read through with me. My camera is currently being suspended by bits of sellotape, so hopefully it won't fall down mid-recording, but we'll give this a quick go and see how it goes. Right, let's get into it. So, Edge View, this is just a quick overview of who Edge are. So yeah, it's just them showing off a little bit, really. An Edge magazine was quite a serious magazine. It was almost a magazine for the older generation of gamers. I think it came out in America under a different name, but I'm not sure. It might have been a similar magazine. I've certainly seen the font, a similar font to this on an American magazine. So yeah, in this issue, it looks like we're looking at 3DO. This is Microcosm. The future of cd-rom technology. So cd-rom was very much a new thing for gaming back in '93. A competition and a few other bits and bobs. So let's have a look. This is the first section. Yeah, the shape of things to come. So like I said, I'm going to just whiz through this one. I think my last Let's Read went on for far too long. So I'm just going to whiz through this. Not going to put any other serious bits in here, just a quick look through. So this is Cutting Edge. This is the Amiga CD32. I lusted after one of these because I was an Amiga kid. Yeah, it was basically an Amiga 1200, which was the high-end AGA version of the Amiga, inside a console with a CD drive, and you can actually turn it into an Amiga 1200 as well. Oh, in fact, it says here it's basically a 1200 with a CD drive. Yeah, you could turn it into an Amiga 1200 with additional cards. You can add keyboard support, and in fact I think it came with keyboard support out of the box. You can add the mouse and floppy drives and what have you. But yeah, brilliant little console, very much a collector's item now, getting quite pricey. This looks like it. Is that John Virgo? Oh no, Commodore's UK MD that looks a lot like John Virgo, with Chris Evans. He looks just like John Virgo, for any snooker fans out there. Quick snapshot of the CD32 version of Pinball Fantasies. There were a lot of the problem with the Amiga CD32 is it was there was a lot of Amiga ports just with added CD quality music. Not very many games that were actually made specifically for it. The controller wasn't the best either, as you can probably see. But at one point it was the best-selling console, well, CD-based console on the market. But Commodore quickly went into bankruptcy shortly after its release, which it may mention in here. I'm not sure how old this relates in terms of timescales. I think, oh, here we go. In fact, Amiga financial status of Commodore. So Commodore has already lost $273 million this year. Closed down 5 subsidiaries. Yeah. So it's in a bad way. CD-TV mentions here, it's another Commodore Amiga, which is an Amiga 500 with a CD drive. Basically, it was their first attempt at a multimedia computer designed to sit under your TV where your VHS was. For a similar idea to this Philips CDI, but both of them, of course, were big failures. So yeah, not doing too well. Sam Tramiel, president of Atari. He was Mr. Commodore for a while. Oh no, was it his dad? I can't remember. Yeah, it was his dad, Jack, wasn't it? It was Mr. Commodore. But then jumped ship to Atari. And that's where the whole Atari ST Commodore Amiga battle was. So the financial state of Atari, a loss of 73 million. So they're struggling as well. They were planning putting everything on their Jaguar console, which was soon to be released. The Falcon was their follow-up to the Atari ST. It was going to be their AGA one, but it failed miserably. At least the Amiga 12 didn't do too bad at all, actually, but the Falcon just fell over at the first hurdle, really. So the British Jaguar package supposedly retailing at $199. Wow. Very, very cheap entry point for a new console, especially at the time where the 3DO was about to release. I think that was about £600. £500 or £600 are quite pricey. A bit on the EA 4-way adapter for, looks like it's for EA Soccer. EA Soccer? Ah, upcoming working title for that this is before FIFA was launched. Of course, yeah, the first FIFA was 94, wasn't it? General Chaos, NHL Hockey 94. Isn't it weird that FIFA wasn't even around at this point? It's such a huge game now. What's this? So NHL's, oh, this is other magazines by the same publisher. So from Mega magazine gave NHL Hockey 94 92%, and the lowest rated game was Chester Cheetah 47%, which I think was a game, was that based on the Cheetos mascot maybe? PC Format gave Day of the Tentacle 93% and Cogito 24%, never even heard of that one. Day of the Tentacle obviously is a very good game, although believe it or not I've never actually played it. Really ought to play that one. One of my fingers. Superplay gave Sunset Riders 87% and Player Manager 55%. So Sunset Riders is actually a very good game. I used to play that. I think I played that in the arcade, I want to say. I'm probably completely wrong now and it never came out in the arcade, but I definitely played it anyway. It's a good game, and I actually had that for Super Nintendo for the brief time I had a Super Nintendo. And Amiga Power gave Soccer Kid stroke Blob 88%, so I guess they both got the same rating because that's not the same game. And Super Sports Challenge 39%. Soccer Kid I actually quite liked. It was a very different sort of platforming game. Buzzword is virtual reality. That's still a buzzword today, let's face it. It's never really happened, has it? I still don't. I'm not too fussed with PlayStation VR or anything like that. VR just doesn't interest me. It's too, I don't know, it's just you that can play it really, isn't it? I can't imagine two people sat on a sofa with two VR headsets on playing a game. What's this? Pirates of the Airwaves. Sega World. That was in I never got to go there. It was a big Sega thing in London, I believe, was Sega World. Like a massive arcade just for Sega machines. But London was a long way away. Well, still is a long way away from me. My parents never took me. In 93, how old was I in 93? I would have been 9, I think. 9 or 10. Yeah, 9. So I was just a bairn. I think this is all about Sega World. What's this? Separated Birth. The first of an ongoing series which Edge highlights some startling similarities between games currently on sale and some that appeared months, if not years ago. So it's saying that Final Fight and Batman Returns are very similar games. Well, yeah, they're both beat-em-ups, scrolling beat-em-ups. Very strange comparison. That's like saying any game of the same genre is very, very similar. What's all this data stream? Lots of figures. So some interesting ones. Are there any interesting ones? Number of Master Systems in the UK, 1.1 million. Number of Mega Drives, 1.15. So only 50,000 more Mega Drives than Master Systems in the UK. Oh. Oh no, that's number of NESs. NES, original Nintendos. So it's 50,000 more original Nintendos in the UK than there was Master Systems in 93. This is based on the 1st of January 93, and Mega Drives, there was 50,000 less Mega Drives than Master Systems in 93. Super Nintendos, only 600,000 Super Nintendos. Very much the last horse in the race there. Well, of those particular ones. Game Gears, 400,000. Game Boys, 1.2 million. Worldwide sales of Street Fighter 2, 6 million, which launched in June 92. Nintendo pre-tax profits, £1 billion. So Nintendo doing pretty well for themselves. Interesting. What else we got? PC Engine power-up. So there's a bit of news here on the PC Engine Duo and Duo R, set to get huge boost in performance from a new RAM card being developed from NEC, so 16 megabytes of DRAM. Never really got into PC Engine. I did have a PC Engine Duo for a little while, but I don't know, it just never really excited me that much. What's this? The Edge connects Mega Drive players over telephone lines. Look at that thing. Wow. Interesting. Night Trap Nightmares. Mother of three Jacqueline Nichols organised a protest against Sega Mega CD game Night Trap. Not on the entirely reasonable grounds that it was crap, but her children, 12, 11 and 8, suffered nightmares after seeing scenes from the 15-certified film during the shopping trip. Fantastic. It's so hilarious how parents overreact to some of these things. To be fair, the store shouldn't have been showing it. Whichever store was showing that. Next stop, Saturn. Sega's next generation machine, the Saturn, boasts a 32-bit RISC chip running at 27 MHz, etc, etc. So Saturn, well, that sounds quite a fair way off, I think. Oh no, wait, Saturn was 94, was it? Yeah, I think Saturn was 94. Oh, it says, given the considerable slippage of the Mega CD, Sega's planned launch date of 94 seems unlikely. See, these are the bits I enjoy in these old magazines. This is why I buy old magazines, seeing the optimism and the pessimism of the developers and the writers. Hollywood enters the FMV arena. So what's this? Virgin's Conspiracy on CD-ROM. Voyeur on Philips CDI. I've heard good things about that. Well, for a CDI game, I guess. Seventh Guest on CDI. Game over for Nintendo. Oh, it's a book. Nintendo's battle-dominated industry. Interesting. Sylvester Stallone has already been filmed against the blue screen for Virgin's version of Demolition Man, and Lawnmower Man 2 is in development. See, these are the days where all the full motion video took off. This is the FMV upgrade cartridge for the Philips CDI. I never had a CDI. In fact, that's one of the only consoles I've never actually owned. A Philips CDI. I would like to, just for completion's sake, but I've got no rush just because there's very few good games for it. Super Nintendo gets ancient Capcom RPG. Eye of the Beholder on SNES, not Breath of Fire at all. Is that Dungeon Master? Oh, Dungeon Master Clone. That's why it looks like Dungeon Master. Which I think was a popular ST game. That's a bit more on FMV. CDI version of Microcosm uses FMV unit to display its stunning rendered sequences in 24-bit colour. So it looks like you needed that in order for it to work. So there's a bit on the Megajet, another rare bit of hardware there, Sega Megajet, which is in-flight driving, it says. Sky-tired Japanese businessmen can now ease away the stresses of a jet flight by getting all hot and bothered on Mega Drive games. Japanese airline JAL have struck a deal with Sega to install Sega Megajet. The Game Gear size unit accepts standard Mega Drive carts and is linked to a small LCD screen which folds out of the seat arm and also doubles as a standard TV. There are 24 Megajets on each flight. I think that's a cool idea. Being able to play a game on flight. I'll just check whether my camera's slipping. I think it's still doing alright. Is it still recording? Yep. And then Pioneer Laser Active. You know what, I've always wanted one of these. In fact, I still want one of these. Such a cool idea, but so expensive. So this is a Pioneer Laserdisc player, which you can plug in these modules. And definitely worth watching a video on one of these. But yeah, it's you can plug in a Mega Drive module, which can then play Mega Drive games, Mega CD games, and also what's called a Mega LD game, which is a Mega Drive game on Laserdisc. Very, very rare. And the PC Engine add-on, which let you play PC Engine games, PC Engine CD games, and other laser active games as well, which was specifically made for the Laserdisc. Very, very expensive. So it looks like at launch it was £575, which I believe now you'd be looking to pay a lot more than that for it. The Mega Drive adapter was an extra £250, the NEC adapter was £128, and oh yes, it let you play LD-ROM, which was NEC's version of a Laserdisc game as well. It's really, really cool. Yeah, I would definitely like one of those in my collection at some point, but I'd have to, it's an expensive add-on, a very expensive add-on indeed. What's this? Nintendo have a nice price cuts on 7 pre-Christmas games, so just price cuts on a few games. Budget games, basically. That's these. Grand Hall Olympia. I'm not sure what this is. It's a video game event, maybe? Fair weather Street Fighter 2 fans. Keen Japanese with a yen for video games. July was the Q season again in Japan with a bulk of heavyweight Super Famicom releases. So it's just about very long queues in Japan for the new games that are coming out. What's this? EA Look to CD. So this will be about... No, it's about PC cd-rom games. I thought it'd be about 3DO. Big in Japan. Nintendo is massive in Japan. Yeah. Aladdin. Oh, is this when Aladdin actually came out? The film actually came out. And some more essential reading. New technologies of the screen, is that? So it's interesting they're marking books. 6 out of 10 on that book. Release dates for games, so ones to look out for. Ys 4 was due out in October of '93. In Japan, Ys is one of the most popular series of RPGs going, and the 4th installment will soon be ready for Super Famicom on cartridge, with Mega CD and PC CD Engine versions following next Christmas, or closer to Christmas. English text versions may take longer to arrive. So what's this one? This is Jurassic Park on Mega Drive. I had this game. It's actually, I seem to remember it being quite good. I've not played it for a long, long time, but I definitely remember it being good in the day. Looks a bit like Flashback with Dinosaurs. I definitely didn't play it like Flashback with Dinosaurs. See if there's any other ones that jump out at me. Probably not. Charts. Top of the Mega Drive chart was Jungle Strike. Micro Machines Cool Spot, Flashback, PGA Tour 2, Sonic 2 still in there. They're expensive as well, aren't they? Top of the Amiga charts was Syndicate. Ah, very, very good game. I really want to play that one again. In fact, have I got it in my pile? No, I must have it for PC. Top of the PC chart as well. Syndicate on there. Mega Drive in Japan, Pure Pure. Top of their charts. Golden X3, number 10. Did that ever get released over here? I'm not sure. Flashback still in the charts on Amiga. Project X, Team 17. £13 must be the budget version. Very briefly worked at Team 17. A long time after Project X though. Dune 2. PC games. Sensible Soccer. Brilliant games. Populous, really like Populous. Promised Land is the add-on pack, I think. Hit Squad version, so that was the budget version. Day of the Tentacle. Flashback Terminator 2 Simpsons. Mega CD Night Trap. Most popular game on there. Actually, I never had back in the day, I never had Night Trap, and I've still not played it. I've obviously seen people play it, I've never played it myself. It doesn't look particularly good, to be honest. Road Avenger I did have and loved. Again, very much a divisive game. Some people hate it, but I actually really enjoyed it. Time Gal was another similar type game. Prince of Persia. Loved Prince of Persia. Never got very far with it though. Always preferred, what was the other one in that style? Another World. Or Out of This World, I think it was called in America. On the SNES it was Starwing. I hate the way that all these are funny directions. Stupid, but I guess they did save space, I'll be cool, I'm not sure. PC cd-rom. Alright, so that's disc version and cd-rom version, so Day of the Tentacle. So Day of the Tentacle's on both lists, but the cd-rom version is the most popular. Probably quite expensive to have a cd-rom at this time. Jeez, 7th Guest, £70 for 7th Guest. I suppose it was on a lot of CDs. Or was it? Yeah, I think it was. Monkey Island still in there, number 10. Very good game. What's this? Top 5 intro sequences. Some of the most impressive attract modes. Is it an attract mode? Microcosm, without doubt the longest intros on any game ever. Sylphid, so good that it should be shown at a local cinema. Battlestar Galactica in miniature. Lands of Lore, glorious use of colour and great storyline. Inca, CDI's best game to date, has a great intro full of digitised pics and moody Peruvian music. And Jagannath, great robotic battle of the future, great animation, booming soundtrack, never even heard of that. Edge Classic 5, the following list is a classic titles that have been emulated but never bettered, so in no particular order. R-Type in the arcade. 2, Paradroid for Commodore 64. Street Fighter Turbo for Super Nintendo. Super Mario 3 for the Nintendo, and the Sentinel for Amiga. The Sentinel. Was that the tower climbing type game? I think that's the Sentinel. I feel like I've played it, I can't remember. I seem to remember is it like a mountain you have to... I can't remember. I'm not going to guess anymore. What we got here then? Preview section. Okay, so, wow, a hell of a lot of games in this issue. I guess it's the first issue, they tend to have more. Let's just go through them. Dungeon Master 2, Legend of Skullkeep, coming to PC, Amiga and Mega CD. Yeah, it looks like a game I'd like to play. I'd probably get the Amiga version if it ever came out. But a lot of times in these magazines, the previews never actually came out. So it looks cool. PC's VGA graphics are still in preliminary form. What you can't see is a lovely new 256 colour dungeons. Does look a really cool game. I like this dungeon crawler type game where it's like a screen by screen. Never played that many of them, but I remember enjoying watching other people play them. On the Amiga I had a game called Black Crypt, which I used to enjoy watching. Who played that? My mum's boyfriend, I think it was at the time. Forgotten Castle. Looks cool. For PC, nine discs. Oh, discs with a K though, so floppy disks. So it looks good graphics for floppy. Stone Keep on PC, also on 9 discs. Graphics look awful on that. Don't remember any of these two games. Top Gear 2. Vaguely remember this one. This is Super Nintendo. Don't remember it being a very good game, but I do remember wanting it. Maybe because the artwork looked cool, and I was into like Lotus games back then on Amiga. Lotus Turbo Challenge. Impossible Mission 90s Remix. So that's the original game there for C64. So it's just an updated version of that. Looks pretty cool actually. Super Nintendo and Mega Drive. Yeah, Might be interested in trying to find a copy of that, have a play on that one. Star-Lord and F-14 Fleet Defender. Are these two separate games? PC and Amiga. Oh, is that it? Yeah. Flight sims, not really my thing. Maybe a space sim actually. Yeah, I guess they're different games then. The Star-Lord looks interesting. Probably still not my sort of thing. Thunderhawk. Sega Mega CD. Yeah, horrible early 3D graphics. More than Mode 7. Interesting looking game. TFX and Inferno. Again, early 3D stuff. Doesn't look too exciting, does it? Some early 3D stuff's alright, but yeah, I think most people agree it hasn't aged that well. And again, flight sims I just wasn't very interested in. Original, is this Jurassic Park? Jurassic Park PC and Amiga. Looks like a first-person shooter. So is it part first-person shooter, part top-down? Because it kind of looks like a run-and-gun type game up here, a la Zombies. Again, a game I've just not played. Man, so many games I need to play. Let me know if you've played this one. Looks interesting. Rise of the Robots. Oh, we had such high hopes, didn't we? Yeah, very early graphics. I mean, that was pretty much all they did in the build up to Rise of the Robots. It was all just about graphics, and they made some brilliant looking 3D engines that just made a terrible game out of it, unfortunately. I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen that Kim Justice has recently done a video on Rise of the Robots. And his videos are always very, very good. Or her videos. Legend of Dracula X and Castlevania Bloodlines. So this was PC Engine and Mega Drive. Alright, okay. I mean, I've played, which one? I've played the PC Engine one. Well, I've played them both, the Mega Drive game as well, but yeah, the action Castlevania games, I've not been that fussed about it. I prefer the Castlevania type game, Metroidvania type games, that's what I'm looking for. So this is the Mega Drive one was the X68000 conversion. Sharp's X68000, so it's a very interesting computer system. Landstalker on Mega Drive. Again, I've not played much of that, but it's meant to be a decent game. What was that related to? Is it Beyond Oasis or something like that? I'm not sure. Ease 4, which got mentioned earlier. PC Engine CD, Super Famicom, and Mega Drive CD. Perhaps the best PC Engine RPG ever was Ease Books 1 and 2 for CD-ROM. I think a lot of people agree with that. I think that was the YouTuber, was it Happy Console Gamer? I think it's his favourite PC Engine game. One of his favourite games ever, I believe. I may be mixing it with something else, but I'm sure he really likes it. Mario and Wario and Super Famicom, that was a puzzle game. Actually, I haven't played that, but I do really like the look of it. It looks cool. But again, I like puzzle games. Virtua Racing, Mega Drive. Very good game. Played that in the arcades. I really wanted a 32X. I know it sounds sad now, looking back on it. But yeah, I was such a Sega kid. You know, bought the Sega Mega Drive, really wanted the 32X. Yeah, it was a good machine. Well, it wasn't. As history told us, it wasn't. Just gonna correct this camera before it falls over. Oh, just a sec. You see my sellotape slowly unraveling. There we go. Yes, Virtua Racing. So yeah, I played it in the arcade and I thought, yes, I would love to play this at home. This is just what 32X needs. But never actually went and got one. I'm really worried that my camera's going to fall off. Hopefully it won't. I'll keep recording, and if it falls over, then it falls over. World Heroes, Super Nintendo. That was meant to be a decent fighting game. Was it an SNK? Oh no, Sunsoft. Sunsoft. Maybe I'm mixing it with something else. But yeah, it looks nice. And what's this? New scene. Twinbee and Winbee are back in action. Twinbee. What's this one here? And Samurai Showdown up here, which are very good games. And the Twinbee games are shooters. Cute 'em ups, if you will. Ooh, interesting. PC and Amiga software. Love looking at all the cover art. Sorry if you can't see this very well. I just really enjoy looking through these old adverts for these sorts of things. Special Reserve. Yeah, the Games Club. I think you had to be a member in order to get games at these prices. Clever idea. An Amiga 1200 Lemmings pack there. Commodore Amiga 1200 with Lemmings for $259. You can get it with an 80 meg hard drive for £500. 80 meg. 80 meg hard drive. Wow. Yeah, Lotus Turbo Challenge 3, which I really liked. Some cool games in there. 3DO. The real deal. There's never been a rise in performance of 50 times like this, Trip Hawkins. 50 times? Yeah, I suppose you could say that. 50 times the price as well. $700 it was coming out at. That's crazy, isn't it? So I won't look into too much detail on this because there's a lot of words. There's Trip Hawkins demonstrating the product, the Panasonic variant. Road Rash 3DO, far cry from the relatively barren Mega Drive version. Crystal Dynamics, I think they released quite a lot of games for 3DO, didn't they? One of the early adopters. Crash and Burn. 3DO's another console like CDI that I've never actually owned. I do like the look of the big long boxes actually, but I don't know, I just can't get excited about the console. I just don't think there's enough decent games for it. Battle Chess. That was the first game I ever owned on my Amiga. Really good game, actually. Well, I really enjoyed it. If you like chess, I suppose. I suppose Harry Potter did it many years later, where the pieces attack each other. What's this? Bullfrog have 3DO games in the pipeline. Theme Park allows you to create your own. So this is just before Theme Park came out. And that's Magic Carpet. Interesting early look at Magic Carpet. Prince of Persia meets Space Harrier. Yeah, not quite. What's this Sonic 2 logo here for? Oh, it's where they programmed Sonic 2 on the Mega Drive. Sega's Technical Institute. So it's saying some of the programmers are from that area. Why is this so blue? This is Another World, the game I was on about earlier. Or Out of This World, as it's called in America. Those 32,000 colours really make a huge difference. Well, they probably would if you'd not printed just blue pictures. Something to do with Jurassic Park there. Manga. Ooh, interesting. Some manga VHS. Oh my god. What is that? Free skin tattoo transfer. Wow. That just looks like porn, basically. 15 and an 18. See why that one's an 18. Soundscape. Dolby Surround. This is all about Dolby Surround sound. And Q Sound. A lot of good albums mastered with Q Sound. Gives a very strange effect. I think it uses out-of-phase sounds to make it sound wider. Amused to Death by Roger Waters was in Q Sound, I believe, unless I'm mixing that up with a different technology. And I believe Madonna, her best of was mastered in it. Immaculate Collection, I think it was called. So King Arthur's Will and Snares use the Dolby Surround for effects like thunder. Super Turrican employs Dolby Surround and spatial effects. So yeah, it's earlier experimentation with surround sound. Did you actually have... Oh, you had to have speakers behind you as well. In fact, I used to have that TV for gaming, a Toshiba, with rear speakers. I had my Saturn plugged into that for quite a while. Echo the Dolphin, Mega CD release gets a Q-Sound music track. Interesting. So that Toshiba surround sound TV is £800. Reasonable priced amplifiers of the time. Canon used to make speakers. Look at that. Look at that gaming setup right there. Yep, it's definitely the TV I used to have, that one. Nice TV for gaming, actually. Not sure what that's about. The making of Microcosm. Very briefly played Microcosm, but I don't think I really enjoyed it. I'm just going to skip through most of this, to be honest. Ooh, FM Towns Marty, look at that thing. Towns Marty. FM Marty, baby brother of Fujitsu, stunning FM Towns console. Very interesting. I think that was officially the first 32-bit CD machine, beating the Amiga CD32 to the market, if I recall correctly, which I may not. And there it is for the FM Towns, Microcosm by Psygnosis. This is the intro sequence all along the bottom here. Cybernator advert. Really cool game on Super Nintendo. And here's the review section. So what reviews we got this month? Street Fighter 2 Turbo on Super Nintendo, £90. Jesus, Japanese import. I mean, I must admit the Super Famicom box art is beautiful for that game. 9 out of 10 it got. Fair enough. I seem to definitely like that one. Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, PC Engine. £85 for the Japanese import of that one. 8 out of 10. Mortal Kombat on Super Nintendo, 6 out of 10. And Gradius 2, or Gradius if you prefer, for PC Engine CD, £60 Japanese import, 8 out of 10. Looks very pretty. Very small reviews these. Sylpheed Mega CD, £60 import, 7 out of 10. Inca on CDI, £40. What is Inca? Is it a puzzle game? Maybe. 7 out of 10. Shame it doesn't tell you what type of game it is. Oh, so it's puzzle sections with first person action scenes. Echo the Dolphin Mega CD, 8 out of 10, 50 quid. Lands of Lore on PC, very pretty looking game that, isn't it? £36, 8 out of 10. Viewpoint Neo Geo, £225. Ouch. I bet it's even more than that now. I bet you've been to the several £100s. Which was an isometric shooter, this one. 7 out of 10. Good game, but very expensive if you want the Neo Geo version. Sunset Riders Super NES, £45, 7 out of 10. I think that one's gone up quite a lot now. Gunstar Heroes Mega Drive, £40, 6 out of 10. Really cool game. 6 out of 10 is actually a very low score for that game. Maybe time has looked kindly on that game, but yeah, that one's, I think it's by Treasure. Yeah, a lot of people rate that as an excellent run and gun. Mario Collection on Super Nintendo, £60 import. I think that's 1, 2, 3 and Lost Levels, 8 out of 10. Rainbow Islands PC Engine CD, £60 is 7 out of 10. Really? For Rainbow Island? I mean, it's a good game, yeah. It's expensive though, for an old game. Zombies Ate My Neighbours on Super Nintendo, £45, 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 for Zombies. Again, very well regarded game. Admittedly, only if you play it through from the start. If you die at any point, it's really tough. Super Family Tennis, never even heard of that. £45, Super Nintendo, 7 out of 10. Pinball Dreams PC, £38, 8 out of 10. Good game. Pinball Dreams and Pinball Fantasies, all very good games. Screen detail isn't as impressive as it was on Amiga. That was quite true of a lot of games at this sort of period. Well, actually no, this sort of period I think is where PC started to take over, but Amiga was the king for many years. Rocket Knight Adventures Mega Drive, £40, 7 out of 10. Cool, really pretty game actually. Nice sprites. Yo Joe on Amiga, £27, 8 out of 10. Don't know much about that one. Looks like a platformer. First Samurai on SNES, 5 out of 10. Boo. First Samurai is a 2-year-old Amiga game that's just been converted to SNES, but sadly time hasn't been kind to it. Fair enough. Lands of Law. Look at those graphics. What a beautiful game that is. Again, I think I own that game, but I've never actually played it. Oh, so these are the same reviews but in more detail. Street Fighter 2 Turbo, £90. Wow, what expensive game. But I bet a lot of people imported it though. Such was the hype of Street Fighter. I remember actually, the Street Fighter. My friend had Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the Super Nintendo, and it was the only time I ever really wanted to own a Nintendo instead of a Mega Drive, just because his version was so much faster than mine. Not enough for me to actually buy one, but yeah, I did want one. But I had Championship Edition or Champions Edition. Oop, camera's just gone. Sorry about that, folks. Let me just put that back. I need a more elegant method of securing this camera than sellotape. Oh well, it'll do for now. One of these days I'll have a decent way to do these videos. Yeah, so yeah, I was slightly envious of my friends who had that version. Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, which I guess is the same version that came out on Mega Drive. I think it was called Champion Edition. Really good game nonetheless. Obviously, the Street Fighter hype was huge back in '93. I really don't want the camera to go again. Ugh, I can just hear the sellotape going. Anyway, Sylphied Mega CD. Not a bad game. It's a kind of a 3D space shooter. Yeah, not a bad game. Not amazing, but not bad. Lands of Law. Another look at this very, very pretty looking game. I need to play this game, it looks so nice. Super Mario Collection, just all the Super Mario games, obviously redone, and all the NES games, but with better graphics. Gradius 2, look at that, very nice looking game. PC Engine CD. And Rainbow Islands, very old school game, also on PC Engine CD. Sunset Riders for Super Nintendo, really good run and gun, side-scrolling run and gun type game. Again, I'm sure I played it in the arcades. Does it mention the arcades? Maybe I may be misremembering. I thought I played it in the arcades. Spot on conversion of the arcade. There we go, yeah, so I did. Zombies Ate My Neighbours on Super Nintendo. Again, very good game, but you do have to try and play it all the way through, because as soon as you die, I think you lose all your weapons and it's just practically impossible, but great fun on 2-player. Really good co-op game. Gunstar Heroes, again, surprised they only give it 6 out of 10, but it's still a very good game. I enjoy it. I still enjoy playing this now. A lot of fun. Viewpoint, some more shots of that one. The isometric shooter. Really cool, but very, very, very expensive. Described as ball-breakingly expensive. Lovely description. Inca, never played it. Again, because I've never had a CDI, but it looks interesting. Oh, and that's it. And recommend reading. So these are for the other magazines, the sister magazines. So Games Master has done a review of Nigel Mansell's F1 Challenge. Game Zone, Bram Stoker's Dracula. What's this one? Mega. NHLPA Hockey 94. Thunderhawk in Sega Power was the highlight, or one of the main reviews. Sega Zone, James Pond 3. Oh, love the James Pond games. Oh, I'm just gonna have to I'm gonna have to finish this video now, because this is just ridiculous. Ugh. Like I say, I'll come up with a better one, way to do this in future. And finally, letter section, which, yeah, I never really go through these. And what do you want to see in issue 2? Next month, a CD-ROM. Anyway, besides the camera falling over, hopefully you found that entertaining. I'll look at issue 1 of Edge magazine. And yeah, just have a look back into 1993, how it all was. If you enjoyed that, join me, and I've got issue 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got quite a lot of them, so I'll continue going through this magazine, which was one of my favourites back in the day. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.